Welcome back to What She Says Sports. All right. We are in birthday mode. We are in Leo mode. It is Leo season officially for me. Next Saturday, a week from today, is my birthday. As you can see, hair braided up. Ready to have some fun. But tonight we are here to celebrate. We are here to celebrate some good news. Some good news. Y'all know we've been through it, dealing with Cleveland and their untoward behavior towards Shedeur. It can be described with many adjectives. But tonight, Shedeur Sanders, undeniable. Undeniable. Shedeur Sanders dominated. When I say dominated, I mean dominated, right? So Thursday, this is Thursday's number right here. And you could use this as a representative sample. On this right here, you can see he's the best quarterback, right? And then you go, and everybody had a not so good day yesterday. That's how they described it. So they say the offense bounced back today, right? And when I tell you Shedeur Sanders balled out 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And y'all, I was going to look and to see who he was throwing to. He threw to a first string wide receiver. Now, they might have been in individual drills where, it's just this one quarterback. Because at one point, Shedeur Sanders was isolated by himself, solo QB on a separate field away from the other 3, right? And he was in what they call a modified 7-on-7s. So in other words, a non-NFL scenario, isolated by himself on a field, right? And people were talking on X and were saying, oh, that's a good thing because Stefanski and Barry or Stefanski was over there watching him. I said, or they're posturing, because why is he isolated over here by himself? Right. And people are saying, when I tell y'all people have been getting on Cleveland, I'm like, they probably over there watching, because how would it look that he is continuously being isolated and you over here watching the guys that are grouped up together, the other 3, but you got him isolated. So yeah, yesterday was a lot of talk. And I told y'all, when you start hearing ESPN and these big box channel talking about what we talking about, that means a lot of people are talking about it. And a lot of people had an opinion yesterday that Stefanski better find a way to get Shedeur some reps, because why not? And people were like, he definitely earned it. I said, it's funny. Shedeur has to earn reps, but the rest just are granted reps, right? So that's where we were yesterday. Well, today, Shedeur came into camp, isolated or not. He did the modified 7-on-7, adjusted 7-on-7. Then he did the 11-on-11 drills. Your boy threw 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns, dimes, boom, boom, boom. Guess what? I saw him throw a pass to his friend who went home with him. Remember the guy y'all talked about? Gage? Was that his name? I don't remember the guy's name. But y'all were like, that's the guy that Shedeur played with in Cleveland. He came home with him. So I think he threw a pass to him. I knew he threw a touchdown. Shedeur to Luke Floria is going to feed families. Luke Floria was on the second team today. I checked the depth chart. He's 3rd on the depth chart. Somebody seems to be questionable. I think they're going to move him up to 2nd string. And then there's Deontay Johnson, currently in 1st. So it's like wide receiver 3, Deontay Johnson. Then you have Michael Wood, who might be questionable. And then you have Luke Floria on wide receiver 3. We ain't got to Jerry Jeudy yet. That's all people keep saying all day long. It sure would be nice to see him throw a ball to Jerry Jeudy. It would just really be nice. I say, yep, that's what we are waiting on. We are all waiting on the opportunity to see Shedeur Sanders throw to the people they expect to be lined up on the field. Now, Deontay Johnson, wide receiver 3, but he is obviously 2nd team at practice. Luke Floria, Shedeur connects with him a lot. Shedeur makes this guy look so good. I think he made the team. I think he made the team because he's 3rd string right now. I bet he gonna bump up to 2. I saw a fist bump between Stefanski, like an attaboy for Luke Floria. What else? Oh, I saw a really good interview today with the legend from Cleveland, Bernie Kosar. I noted what he said about Shedeur. He said the pass from Shedeur, the touchdown pass from Shedeur to Luke Floria was professional. He said that was a professional throw. People say that a lot. See, people know Shadeur's already on that level, right? He's already on that level, and people are debating. One, a lot of people, self-included, there is no competition. If you ask AI, the competition is between the rookies, not Flacco and Pickett. But then if you read the articles by the media, it's between all four of them. And then some people are starting to say, well, Flacco, if his numbers are not good, right? Well, they know who he is. They know who Pickett is. So they focused on Dylan and Shedeur. So as you can see today, so let's go back to yesterday right fast, right? Look at the reps, right? You can see Flacco 11, Pickett was 6. Shedeur had the highest accuracy as advertised, most accurate QB in college football. And you could just kind of see right here that Dylan had 8. So yesterday they had Shedeur 8 and 8. Now remember, yesterday was their first open practice, right? I think that was yesterday was the first open practice. So they was on their P's and Q's, giving Dylan and Shedeur the same thing, right? So then we come over here to today, and then we have Flacco with 8. So it's like they kind of flipped it. Pickett with 10, and then Dylan with 15, and Shedeur with 11. So they're not exactly the same, but here's what they did. They flipped it. So they had 5,000 people there today who watched Shedeur throw 3 touchdowns. Even though Dylan had most of the reps, Shedeur had the least, still did the most. This is consistent with him. This is a pattern. Now, I heard somebody say something about the playbook. I'm like, oh no, Shedeur have no problem learning no plays. See, you can't be good. You can't be hella accurate if you don't know the plays. So when people say that, that means they're looking for something. There is nothing. That is nothing. We are congratulating Shedeur Sanders. He balled out today. I have a snippet of an interview that a young man, Shedeur, was gracious enough to give him after practice. But you could tell he was a bit fatigued. It was hilarious. So we're going to look at that. I have a character I want to laugh at because it was updated. I shared it before, but people have updated it recently, and it involves Andrew Berry. So we're going to talk about that. And we have like a little snippet of some plays. Now, Shedeur was cute today. When they walked out, he walked out to, I guess to like the fans lined up and everything. I noticed he had on his Deons. So he plays in his Deons. He practices in his Deons. I love that. That's his dad's shoe, right? I love that his hair's braided. I love that yesterday he said, he not fazed by anything. He went from an HBCU to a Power 5, and he balled out at both, right? High school championship 3 times. Took JSU to the SWAC after a 12-year drought. CU, you know what time it is. So now I want to give a congratulations, and I want to move into a segment, y'all. I want to move into a part and give some congratulations to the man himself, Coach Prime. When I tell y'all, Coach Prime is good for business, right? We know the Prime effect is what it is, but it's reaching places and doing things we didn't even consider, right? We didn't even consider. Coach Prime has elevated CU again, y'all. CU again. CU is now in the top 50 for the most valuable programs, football programs, along with like the likes of Duke, the likes of Syracuse, right? Duke, y'all know Duke paid Darian Mensah $8 million for 2 years. Y'all know Syracuse. I always said Syracuse and CU are right there. Syracuse is a highly regarded university on the East Coast, right? And our own Big Ten, Iowa State, right? So we're 47. They're right around us with the same numbers. When I tell you, it said Coach Prime himself is worth about $50 million to CU. About $50 million to CU. 50. How much was this contract? 54, 59? $50 million. That means they knew that. That means when they offered him the $50 million, they pretty much knew he was worth about, when they offered him 54, they knew he was about worth 50. Coach Prime's probably not going to leave CU. They say he has elevated CU's valuation to that of a expansion team in minor league soccer. I'm like, okay. MLS is either major or minor league soccer. I'm not sure which one. Either way, that's pretty darn good. To say he's been there 3 years. 3 years. So they might have kicked us out of the top 25. But we made the top 50 where it counts, right? We made the top 50 where it counts. The money. The money. That makes CU so highly attractive, right? They didn't want this man. This is why they didn't want him there. Because some of them haven't done it. So congratulations to Coach Prime for being him, for elevating CU once again. Y'all know when he had first touchdown, first 90 days, first 30 days, $90 million. Then y'all know about the TV deals, the rights, the revenues, 300 mil. Y'all know about that. We know we went to a bowl game. We know we not settling nowhere for 9-4 this year. And y'all ain't talking about Caden. I'm going to have to do a whole segment on Caden. ESPN put his highlights out there. It's at 66,000 views. PFF did an interview about Caden, talking about how good he is. I'm telling y'all, they undervalued him by making Caden a top 15. I want y'all to know we went from Shedeur, who out here killing it. Don't worry about where he was drafted, because somebody gonna fix that. Somebody gonna fix his money. He might be only draft capital before today in Andrew Berry's mind. Cleveland gonna have a hard time. Shedeur go out here and ball out preseason. They're gonna have to do some meddling. If he go out here and ball out like he is right now, because right now, the first week of training camp has wrapped up, right? The first week of training camp has wrapped up, and Shedeur Sanders was the best QB week 1 training camp. And people say, oh, they just in t-shirt and shorts. What, you think he never played in pads? So Monday, they put on the pads. And if he still balls out, he's still the same. Whether it's with the 4s, the 3s, and the 2s, you can expect what it will be with the 1s. If I'm good with the 4s, if I'm good with the 3s, if I'm good with the 2s, and one of the 2s is wide receiver 3 first string, I'm good with the 1s. Nobody said their wide receivers were all of that. Nobody. What have they won? But all 5 of Shedeur Sanders' wide receivers are in the NFL, and I think one might be in the UFL. I think they played a championship game. So Coach Prime did his thing, right? I just want to just give congratulations to Coach Prime. Just elevating CU again in a way we didn't think about. Money. It must be the money. It definitely is the money, worth $50 million to this university. This man not going nowhere. Why would I trade this in for the NFL? I watched today a little snippet of a documentary about Cleveland and what they're building out in Brook Park, the Star. I told y'all a couple of months ago, every owner wants a star like Jerry Jones. Every owner wants the star. They want to get a big 200 acres worth of land, buy it themselves, develop themselves, and start selling hotel space, start selling amphitheater space, start selling mall space, outdoor shopping mall, outdoor restaurant space. That's exactly what's planned in Cleveland. I said to myself, and I thought about this, I said, Lord, if Coach Prime was to own an NFL team, even if he had like ownership and they listened to him, the things he could do. Because look at what he's doing in college football. This is why they don't want him involved, because they know if he get his hands on a team, it's over with. I think he could take the Falcons to the next level. That's just me. I do. I think he could take the Falcons to the next level. Philadelphia announced they're getting a new stadium now. Mind you, Cleveland's still fighting with the city, but it don't matter because they already done broke ground on their situation in Brook Park. And don't get me wrong, from a business perspective, I love it. But the downside is the way these owners move, they don't care about the football. Cleveland already not good. We know their track record is not good, right? We know it's not. But you have been awarded a $2.4 billion with a big dollar stadium that mimics the Star in Dallas with everything around it, which makes the football the petty zoo. Why are we rewarding a winless team or a team that's not good, that hasn't won anything since 1989? Since 1989. See, that's what I don't like, because I see the play. What do we say about Dallas? Oh, they don't care about getting to the Super Bowl. Well, Cleveland ain't gonna care either. They got a lot of reasons to care right now. They got a quarterback that can get them there. They don't care. All they know is I'm getting me a Jerry World out here in Cleveland, and they are. And y'all see how people are fascinated by the star. They just took the blueprint from the star, and I already told y'all a couple of months ago. Several different teams said, I want one, I want one, I want one, and that's what they're getting ready to do. Which means, oh, I'm not worried about that. How the football team doing? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. They don't care, not gonna care. They're not gonna care. And when you take 250 million and divide it by 32, that's how much Shedeur made each team just on the initial sale of the jerseys. So congratulations to Coach Prime. If he ever get his hands on a league, start his own league, it's gonna be something to rival the NFL. And you best believe, if he ever get equity in an NFL team anywhere near decision-making ability, it's gonna be good. It's gonna rival. He's not gonna copy Dallas. It's gonna be that and then some, right? So I don't know what his plans are for the future. But I congratulate him, this man, just like Shedeur. Undeniable. What they gonna say now? They can't say nothing. Not only the program, a winning program, revived the program, made it through all of the meddling, all of the hatred, and yeah, they still gonna do some of it, but not as much. Do y'all know there's an NFL player, and I want y'all to answer this question. There's an NFL player that has a Colorado Buffs football coach as an advisor for his NFL career. Drop the name to see. I just want to see if you could guess who it is. In his inner trusted circle that he comes to about his career and how to elevate it. Drop the name of the player, and then maybe I'll tell you the name. Maybe drop the name of the coach, or drop the name of the player. If you guess one, I'm going to tell you the other one. An NFL player has a Colorado Buffs coach in their inner circle, that circle of trust, the people that I reach out to when I need advice, and I'm already a star. Who is the player? Who is the coach? All right. So shout out to Coach Prime. I just want to say that. Let's get into some of these clips. Some of these clips from Cleveland. But before we do that, I gotta share this because this is funny. This is my screen. Okay, this is it. So does anybody remember that I shared this clip? Does anybody remember that I shared this clip? While y'all try to read this clip, I'm gonna go ahead through the comments because this is funny. Now y'all see at the top, Quinshawn Junkins. I think the guy at the bottom is David Hall. When we shared this initially, it was like, know the work rules. It said we got arrested for DV, right? Domestic violence. And then it says over here, appropriate or whatever. It says appropriate. We're still gathering info. So if a player gets arrested for domestic violence, they still getting info. They don't have no comment. Kind of like Justin Tucker. It was the same way. We don't know. We gotta look. We looking into it. We looking into it. Like Pink Substance never looked into it, right? Never looked into it. But then when it's a black quarterback, it's Shedeur Sanders or a black quarterback, period. I got speeding tickets. It's not smart. It's dangerous. So you don't have nothing to say about the inappropriateness of being dragged into a domestic violence situation. People are already speculating he's going to be suspended. I'm like, well, did y'all know he was guilty or something? Because he got to be found guilty first. So they already saying that he's going to miss about 5 games. I'm like, let's let the man be proven guilty first. Like, we don't really know what's going on. But the cartoon exposes Barry for the most part, because he was the one acting like Shedeur was out here walking on a tightrope on Mount Fiji somewhere, which is dangerous, but it was speeding tickets. Like, he don't know anybody that got speeding tickets. People get speeding tickets all the time. Sometimes people get speeding tickets. They know they're going to get a ticket, but they're like, hey, I got to get here. Right? So Shedeur doesn't drive anymore. It's not a big deal. But Barry decided to speak on that. But he was fumbling for words when it came to domestic violence. We really try to teach our guys this, that, and the other. See, Barry is guilty. I told y'all he's a guilty man. And when people mess over you, they don't want to be around you. And see, now that's why he looks so sad, because now he's forced to be around Shedeur. He know what he told Shedeur. He know he pre-draft extensively and said some things and did some things and thought that it was gonna go this way. And his boss was like, nope, I don't want to do that like that. So now he wants to fend Shedeur off and say, well, he not good. We're going to get him as draft capital. He fourth string. We have no priority, no use for him, whether we like him or not. Enter the fans, enter the media, because that's where we are. The fans first, and then the media. Dan Orlovsky today, I would find a way to make sure I get Shedeur and Dylan ready. Some people say the reason why they flipping on the reps and giving the rookies more reps is because they see that Flacco and Pickett are not it. I said, I don't think that's it. I think they're flipping because yesterday was the flip. Yesterday, they must have thought Coach Prime was going to be there. So they wanted to even Dylan up with Shedeur so it don't look like they isolating his son like they did today. But you see, Stefanski got his little self over there. And people are like, oh, that's good. He's paying attention to Shedeur. He should have been paying attention to Shedeur. He said it too. We pre-draft with him extensively. They know who Shedeur is. They told us that. That's why I still have those interviews and will play them intermittently. We know exactly who Shedeur is. We know he's going to come in here and work hard. That means they know he's the best quarterback they have. But here's what Cleveland doesn't want to do. They don't want to look stupid for pre-drafting with Shedeur, cutting bait like he a fish in the water, moving on to number 94, Dylan, and then Shedeur's better than Dylan and everybody else that they brought in. They're trying to save face, acting like, oh yeah, we don't see him. He a fourth string, he a fifth round. There's nothing he could do for us. I heard Adam Schefter saying the same thing. I said, I remember. I got your articles. I got you on screenshot too. Yeah, I can say with certainty that Cleveland is going to take their franchise QB at number 2. And then I got it on April 2nd when he changed his tune after March 31st when the owner came out and said, we took a big swing and missed. He came back and said, well, I can't say that they still going to get a quarterback. So he knew all along what was going on. And he knew who the number 2 quarterback was going to be. The one they don't want to give the number 2 to, Shedeur Sanders. Yes, all of those people right there have to keep tap dancing the same dance. They got to keep dancing the same dance. They know the truth. So we here to celebrate our guy. He balled out. I don't know. I think when they come back next week, they said it's going to be pads. So they're going to have pads on. What are y'all expecting while they put on pads? I mean, you wear pads in high school or the pads in college. You wear pads in high school. You wear pads in college, hell, middle school, and you wear pads in the NFL. Or the pads in the NFL much, much heavier than the pads in college? Can somebody let me know, former players, parents of players? Just please let me know, because I don't understand all of the, oh, they're going to be in pads next week. Yeah, Shedeur was good today, but they're going to be in pads next week. Somebody please explain to me what all of this hype about pads is about. All right, so I'm checking y'all's comments while a few more people partake of the screen and laugh at this cartoon that's on here because it's a reality. The foolishness, the unseriousness of the Cleveland Browns. So let's see. All right, I'm going up to the top, and then we're going to continue on. I got clips I need to show. Hey, Jam, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Good evening, Crowley. Hey, Tina, how you doing? Hey Jackie, how you doing? How you doing? Hit that like button for me. Salafi, how you doing? Run the likes up. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey there, everybody. Hey, Miss Pamela, how you doing? Love my braids. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, thank you. I appreciate the love for the braids, y'all. I appreciate that so much. It said, what God has for you, no man can deny. That's facts. Jeremiah 29:11. 29:11. Thank you so much, Crowley, for the compliment on the braids. I appreciate it. D said, Shedeur is making it hard. Ooh, he is. Okay, so this is what they teach you, right? When you get a job, on any job, when you're coming out of college, coming out of high school, the goal is to make yourself indispensable. Make it hard for them to dismiss you. Make you the go-to person. That's what Shedeur has done. He has, one, made it extremely difficult for them, Barry and Stefanski, because Haslam is off playing with his $2.4 million shiny toy. I'm sure he's excited about that. He might own some other teams because the name of his company is Haslam Sports Group. So I figured if you have a group, you must have some teams in that group. So he not focused on this. He left it in the trusty hands of some other people. Namely, the number 2 seems to be the guy on the screen, and Andrew Barry, which is why he's so cocky. Now you know, because he say Haslam lets us do our jobs. So, okay. So you the one. Oh, okay. You the one making the decisions. Okay. So it seems that even before we get to preseason, finishing the first week, Shedeur is the best QB by the numbers and the optics. You can see it with your eyes. And if you do the math on the percentages, he's the best QB in Cleveland. Again, see, we already been here. OTAs, mandatory camp. Shedeur was that guy. And that's why they didn't cut nobody, because they thought it was going to be him. But if you pre-draft for him extensively and Andrew Barry, you want to be the boss, how is it you don't know that he was going to beat out Flacco, that Shedeur was going to beat out Gable, that Shedeur was going to beat out Pickett? How you don't know that? Or did you? And you just hoped that it wouldn't work out? Or you thought that being a 5th round pick would be enough to put a leash on him and bury him on the depth chart? Psych. That's exactly what he thought. They thought they were going to stand by that old standard of devaluing black quarterbacks in the NFL because it's not new. It's not a new practice at all. And they thought that they were going to be able to band together. But they forgot something. Us, the fans. See, the fans run this. And while it's true, they feel like they're rewarding their fans in Cleveland with a shiny new stadium. I'm sure they would rather win, because the novelty of the new stadium in the shopping area, all of that's going to wear off at some point. The Star was fabulous when it opened, but after a while, it's just the Star. People going to go back to the main thing. Are y'all going to win any games? Imagine moving into a $2.4 billion stadium with a shopping complex, hotels, and right by the airport and all the trappings of, hey, come look at me, but y'all losing game after game after game. That's going to wear off real fast. Because see, what people don't understand is sports fans, especially avid sports fans and bettors, and we know the betting industry has taken over. The NFL too, right? People say sometimes they think the games are fixed because of Vegas. You think they don't care about the winning and losing? Yeah, they do. They absolutely want you to get it right. So here's the thing. All the shiny new stadiums in the world, Cleveland don't have the legacy that Dallas has. Dallas did have a winning team, but even their luster is starting to wear off. Even their star is beginning to fade, because we talking about y'all, but y'all don't win nothing. They have the second most number of primetime games, but they haven't won anything. So they rested on their laurels. These buildings are a novelty that will be exciting and fun at first, but fans are going to be like, I'm going to need you to win. But they point out that Cleveland fans are notoriously loyal, just like the New York Giants fans. And that's why the Giants And the Browns can do the things that they have done, despite the fact that they're not winning franchises. Cleveland not in a big market, but they have somehow managed to capture the attention of their fans. But their fans see Shedeur. And with them isolated Shedeur, Coach Prime was supposed to be coming on Monday. You see how they evened out the reps. He wasn't there today. You see how they gave Dylan just a few more. See, they thought he was going to be there. They thought he was going to be there. Look at this. 8-8 on the first open practice. But on the second open practice, while Coach Prime wasn't there, they went right back to it. 15-11. You see? Posturing. So that's what I say it is when we have Stefanski watching Shedeur, but Shedeur is isolated, practicing in a non-real world NFL football game scenario, modified 7-on-7. They don't even play 7-on-7 in NFL. This is training camp. It's time to get it right. Right? So why you don't have him in 11-on-11s? But he got there. But they could have just started with everybody. They could have split 2 and 2 on different fields and 11-on-11s. And then they could have just rotated the quarterbacks to the opposite sides of the field. How hard is that? In other words, Dylan and Shedeur start out on one field, 11-on-11, because, again, we're 13 days away from the first preseason game against the Carolina Panthers. 13. And you out here fooling around, haven't given Shedeur first team reps. He's isolated on the field, solo QB, modified, adjusted 7-on-7s with the 4s, the 3s, or the 2s, but not the 1s. So that means you are saving your excuse to pull out of your pocket. Oh, we can't let him start in the regular season because he didn't get enough. We didn't see enough. If Shedeur balled out with the 4s, the 3s, and the 2s, he gonna ball out with the 1s. And let us not forget, Deontay Johnson and Luke Floria might be on the second team, but Deontay Johnson is a starter. Now, why they got him on team 2, I don't know. He just got back there or something. I don't know. But he's wide receiver 3. They play with 3 wide receivers, maybe. I don't know. But the point is, he's on team 2. So if I make Luke Floria look good enough that Kevin Stefanski's a fist bump, then that means Shedeur to Luke Floria going to feed families. And Luke Floria is likely going to make the team and get bumped up from 3 to 2 if the guy in front of him is a question mark. Because of who? Shedeur Sanders, who also has what? 5 of his receivers from college in the NFL, 4 in 1 draft. And he's 4th string. They playing. Cleveland is so unserious. So let's take a look at these clips to celebrate our guy. Now that you've been caught up to speed on the play with these reps, they weaponizing the reps and they posturing when they need to. Understand that. All right. So let's see. Here is one right here. Oh, I got to move one of these. Let's see. All right. Let me see which one am I sharing. All right. So this, what you see is a pass with Shedeur. He threw 2 touchdowns today. This might just be a pass. I just wanted y'all to see this one. It's short. Yep, that was it. That was one of his touchdowns. So I don't know if y'all can see, but that's Shedeur. And while Shedeur is getting ready to throw, you can see the pressure coming towards him, but he had already gotten the ball out of his hand. He's used to that scenario. Shedeur is unfazed by pressure. If you notice, his feet stays where they are, even with the pressure coming. Just think, Bailey. Even with the pressure coming, his feet are planted. He gets that ball out, and then the pressure gets to him. I'll take that. I'll take that, right? I'll take that because he's used to that scenario. And for people who tried to downplay Shedeur, right? For people who tried to downplay Let me know if y'all could see me the whole time. I hope y'all could see me. I think it was saying it was sharing. But people were saying how, oh, he had a lot of negative plays and whatnot. But those sacks, I hate to say it, those sacks, while I think they were harmful, obviously, to the team, I think with Shedeur, it was so many of them, it actually helped him to elevate, right? Because the Baylor game is a game that I typically refer to because he was sacked 8 times and he still kept them in the game. 1, which means he was undeterred. And 2, they won. Just like in this play right here, you see Shedeur Sanders plant his feet with the pressure coming. If you remember the Baylor game, when he threw that Hail Mary pass, he was all the way to the left. Normally he would have rolled out to the right. Why? But why didn't he? Because they realized that the right side of the O-line was giving way. So he rolled to the left, and just like he planted his feet, you see he still got that ball out. It's the same play. And that's why he's unfazed by it. He's had to win in some very challenging situations. And as ugly as the Nebraska game was, as ugly as that game was, do y'all know if that game had lasted a quarter or two longer, we would have caught up to them because we were starting to catch up after halftime? Most of the sacks came to Shedeur in the second quarter. And we played the same people in the third and the fourth quarters with Nebraska. And the problems that existed before the half did not exist after the half. And people said they were scared because the guy was like really big or whatever. Remember the big player from Nebraska? I don't know if he's in the league or not. He might be still at Nebraska. They said they were intimidated. I'm like, okay, if that's what y'all say, but I don't see that. If you intimidated by the size of a football player, I don't know. I mean, I know he was a big guy, but y'all all can't be scared, right? You all can't be scared. So this was one of Shedeur's, this was one of his touchdowns. I think the guy's name is Cade. And this is on my X. So if y'all go to my X, you can see all of this stuff that we're talking about. I'm just so proud of Shedeur. And you see how he drift backwards out the pocket. That's what you're supposed to do. If the pocket is moving, I got to move too. Remember, that was a knock on him that the local media was talking about. And as you can see, he made a touchdown with it, right? All right, so let's move on to the next one. All right, let's move to the next one. All right, so this is Shedeur's interview. I like this one. All right, so let's see. I want to make sure that y'all can see me. All right, so let me see if I can play it.
Hell of a day. Hell of a day. You had that nice TD to Floria in the corner.
Yeah.
What are you kind of seeing out there?
I'm seeing greatness.
Seeing
Definitely.
greatness.
Yeah, it's a lot of great players we have on the team. O-line, everybody's doing their job. Coaches doing everything they're supposed to do. So
What do you say is legendary?
It's not legendary yet, man. It's not there yet. We were.
Did you hear that? He said it's not legendary yet.
So talk to me. How's the transition been so far?
Transition been cool. Yeah, it's of course ups and downs and everything, but I feel like once you switch your mentality to anything in life, then you see the brighter things.
For sure, for sure. What do you kind of bring in with you that your pops has instilled in you, and what you've learned at Colorado to kind of, put your best foot forward within this this QB comp?
Honestly, I'm just bringing myself. That's who I was at Colorado. That's who I was growing up. So I can't really change
100%.
Myself as a person.
100%.
I love that.
What are you looking forward to most as being a pro now?
What I'm looking forward to most, I'll say just getting reps. That's it.
That's right. What have you kind of learned about Cleveland that you didn't know, when you were coming in?
What have I learned?
What do you like? What do you like about Cleveland?
Well, I tried to not give you the most basic answer that everybody, answers
Valid.
Anytime they say, "What do you love about Cleveland?" So, something I'll say unique is it's hard to even think outside. Like, bro, we just got done with practice. I did a lot of thinking today. So
Fair enough.
I did a lot of thinking today. I can't even go deep in the bag right now.
That's valid. That's valid. What are kind of your favorite spots that you found so far?
So, okay.
Valid.
So,
Yeah, I love my house.
So what do you kind of looking to accomplish as we get deeper into training camp? The preseason's coming up. where do you kind of want to be with your game as we get towards, week 1 and
Okay, he in a
preseason
good
week 1?
mood.
Completing the football and doing my job.
There you go. So, okay, the young guy that did the interview, and it was gracious of Shedeur after practice, in the heat, to stop and give a non-media person his name, because it's open practice. So his name is Mikey NFL CB, which sounds like Mikey NFL Cleveland Browns. So he got Shedeur to give him an interview. Shedeur was gracious. Let me tell you what I loved. I told y'all I love when he came out, which would have been like the tunnel, but onto the field with the kids lining up, putting out their hands. I love the fact that he wore his Deons. I love the fact that he has his braids. He still got on his one sleeve. He said he's the same person he was at CU. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? He's himself. He's comfortable. I love it. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I absolutely love it. I love that they cannot break this young man. I loved he realizes he know who he dealing with. See, you don't stress when you know who you dealing with. See, you only stress when you confused, and you're only confused when you don't truly understand what's going on. He gets it. He gets it. When he did his media interviews yesterday, he was like, I don't feel like I could speak on that. It's my place to speak on that when it came to about the refs. Because he's like, I don't choose that. I don't control that. In other words, control what you can control. And he said, I don't even let that get into my mental because it's not up to me. Perfect answer. I don't even know why a reporter would ask him, why don't you ask Stefanski? Why don't you ask Stefanski why he not getting no reps? Are you scared? Be scared. Ask Stefanski why he not getting the first team reps. A lot of people are wondering why he's not getting first team reps. And it's funny what people are starting to say in the comments because he had 3 touchdowns today, right? What are they saying? Well, this is what happens when you give him an opportunity. When he threw to Deontay Johnson, first string wide receiver 3, touchdown. I don't know why they act like putting on pads is just going to be totally different. And yeah, I'm going to get to the comments so y'all can tell me what is all of that about, right? Because I don't want to make light of the fact that they're like, oh, we're going to put on the pads. I'm like, did he play in pads in college? Are they that much heavier? I know the other players are larger in stature. I get that, right? I get that. That's going to be different. Myles Garrett is huge without pads. So, I remember when he was getting ready to come at Dylan Gabriel, I'm like, are they going to have to tell people not to go hard at Dylan? Because if somebody hit him, what is he, 5'9"? 5'9"? Is he a lightweight? So, Shedeur has seen it all. And that's one of the things that Coach Prime said about him. Grown has seen it all. He has seen it all. All right. So let's see. I think I might have another clip. Let's see that I go through all of them. Let's see. Oh, one more. I think this one's a different one. So one more. Okay. Let's see. This is a touchdown to Shedeur. Let's see who this one was. Floria, I think. That's the one people are talking about. Steps back, plants his feet, and there it is. Yep, that's Luke Floria. That's Luke Floria. I think I shared on my ex the one with Deontay Johnson. That's the one I wanted y'all to see, but I could tell you that, I guess. So that's 2. And so there you go, guys. Yeah, these 2, if they get to play together, they're going to feed families. If somebody get hurt, and I don't know if they have like a wide receiver competition. Do y'all think they have like a wide receiver competition? I don't know. Do y'all think they have a wide receiver competition too? Because Deontay Johnson just got back. And it was, I think the lady Mary Cabot was the one that was like, yeah, he just need to come in, close his mouth, open his ear. I'm like, lady, stop, right? So he's wide receiver 1, but they love Floria, and he's 3 behind. So Deontay is 1, Michael Wood, the second is 2, and Luke Floria is 3. And they really like Luke Floria because Shedeur making him look like a 1, right? This is the second team, they said. So Luke Floria is out here 3rd on the depth chart. Same as Andre Carter, the one that's wearing Shedeur jersey, number 2. That's what I call it. And it looks like the Browns are gravitating towards him, fist bumping him on the side, giving him an attaboy in public. And he's 3. I'm expecting him to possibly uh I don't know in a regular season if you go from a 3 to a 2, if you a 2, you just the immediate backup after the starter. It wouldn't surprise me with how shiesty these people can be sometimes if they like Lou Floria and he be the starter and they move Deontay out the way because they were talking about him, right, having some type of issue. So keep an eye on Lou Floria. That's all I'm gonna say. Shedeur got him looking good too. So, and I told y'all he threw a pass. It wasn't a touchdown, but he did throw a pass to his friend that he took home to his dad. So that's it. All right. So I'm gonna leave it on the screen so y'all can see it, and I'll just see if I can turn the volume off, and that way, for people who are just not joining us, you can continue to watch it. And I'll just turn it down, and I'm gonna just start going through the comments. All right. So let's see. I put my mic down. Let's see what we got going on. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Hit the like button for me. There were quite a few of us in here. At one point, it was 135 of us. So if it still is, hit the like button for me. It said, set him free to a team that will appreciate his talent. Look at Mayfield and Tampa balling out. Right. That's why I had Baker Mayfield on the thumbnail. To be honest, that's why Baker Mayfield was on the thumbnail because he was good. And Baker Mayfield himself wanted out of there. It's 147 of us. Hit the like button for me, please. Baker Mayfield was good in Tampa, but he eventually wanted out of there. And I asked y'all yesterday, do y'all think they're waiting for Shedeur to ask him for a trade? They normally don't seem to like when people want to trade. Well, not black quarterbacks anyway. So I don't even know how smoothly that will go. But I don't think he's going to ask for it. And at this point, I don't think he should. I think what's happening is the longer Shedeur is in Cleveland, the more Cleveland, Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski and whoever else is hiding behind them is exposed that he was their number 2 franchise player. I heard a conversation about it today. Somebody said a reporter interviewed back when all of the draft was happening, and they said Shedeur was going to be their number 2. I told y'all I have screenshots of Adam Schefter saying that everybody was talking about how the Browns were eager to meet with Shedeur after the combine, how Adam Schefter said after the combine, he had with certainty he can guarantee they're taking a quarterback at number 2. And y'all know what happened on or about March 31st. So with the NFL saying on or about February 20th, on or before, that they didn't want quarterbacks like Shedeur Sanders, that tells me that the NFL, the Roger Goodells, the owners already knew what the end result was going to be. But Adam Schefter didn't, because he had to come back and retract basically what he said. Well, I don't know if that's what they're going to do now. So that meant within that tight, incestuous circle that they have, the owners, which hide behind the management council, but the owners took him off the board, so they can't hide behind the management council on what happened in the draft. So what I'm saying is they already knew, just like Roger Goodell told Shedeur what? Super Bowl weekend, I'm worried about your pops. That is confirmation. If you put all of that together, connect those dots, that meant that inner circle, the owners, Jerry Jones included, which is why he told Shedeur, yeah, we're going to have to do a lot of trading. That is why they all knew. They all knew. They all knew. That's why after the Super Bowl weekend, Phil Yates podcast, the NFL does not want quarterbacks like Shedeur Sanders now. All of that's going to keep coming out. Keep coming out. Who knew what? How long you been knowing? How long the plan been in place? And that's nothing for Shedeur to worry about. That's where the fans come in at. Just like Cleveland underestimated the fans and the media calling him out. Now, y'all saw the facility called him out. The facility said it. They lied to us about Shedeur, and they're gone. They're gone. Now, Shedeur's out here balling out, doing exactly what he did at OTAs, but this is now training camp. Now, the goalpost has moved to, it's time to put on the pads. Let's see what's going to happen. He wore pads in football his whole life that he played football. Hey, how you doing, Queen T? How you doing? How you doing? It said, "What's up, fam? Can you feel a brand new day?" That's what it looks like. Well, for Shedeur, it is anyway. He made himself indispensable. He made it hard for them to move on from him. His presence, the more he's there, the more people are asking questions, talking about, well, no, they said Shedeur was going to be the number 2 QB. Right. So if a reporter knew that, if Adam Schefter knew they were taking a QB, a lot of other people knew it too, which is why Andrew Berry wigs out that Shedeur's on the ground, because when you push people down and bully people, right? When you lure somebody somewhere and you got to run into them again when you was expecting to cut them off, nah. Guilty. That's what that is. It said the Mary Kay lady is running that narrative. As Lamar said, you can't fake influence. That's it. 5,000 people out there today. Shedeur had all of them to line up so they could take one big picture because it was too many people for him to take a picture with. So you could put his second day crowd by Shiloh's crowd, and that'll be a nice thumbnail so people can see it. And even Todd Bowles is on X talking about how fast Shiloh has picked up the Tampa Bay playbook. Shedeur already said he getting comfortable with that playbook. Shiloh's coach came out and said how fast he picking it up. Sound like Shiloh gonna be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. That wasn't a position coach. That was the head coach. Shiloh is also making himself indispensable. The community's locked in. Rapidly learning the playbook. Perfect pass breakup in front of fans on open practice day. Everybody celebrating, being interviewed. He's made himself indispensable. Shiloh has made it difficult to just kick him off the squad. Shiloh and Shedeur are going to make the 53-man roster. Because there was doubt that both of them would. They both going to make that. It's going to be difficult to cut Shiloh. You cannot cut Shedeur. Cleveland going to have fans all over them. Praying for Coach Prime. So I don't know if y'all know, but there's supposed to be a press conference coming up with Coach Prime. I'm assuming it's going to be Monday. Yeah, it's supposed to be Monday, the first day of fall camp. And it involves, this is who's supposed to be at the press conference. Coach Prime and his medical staff and some of the medical staff from CU. So I don't think it's anything bad. But I will tell you this. When I was listening to Coach Prime talk in the SUV when he was with Shiloh, not Shiloh, when he went to see Shiloh with Bucky, he was still hoarse. He's still very, very, very hoarse. Some people were speculating, the haters, oh, he leaving. I'm like, shut up. Nobody said he's leaving. Now, I don't know why they will be there, his medical team, CU's medical team, but there's something that they want to share. You know, I saw him playing basketball. He plays tennis. So I'm thinking his endurance is there, but he is hoarse. Maybe he has to take treatment. Remember when he was at Jackson State? And he had to have surgery and he was away, and then he came back and he was in a wheelchair, and then he was on a little scooter thing. Remember? It could be something like that. It could be maybe he has to have some kind of treatment. Maybe he has to have some kind of surgery, and he wanted them to be there to maybe explain it, but then to assure this is something that he can recover from. It could be reassuring because people have heard so many different types of things, right? Bucky said we were going to hear what it was about. Bucky said they recorded everything. So Monday, I think all eyes will be on Colorado Monday. So yep, Coach Prime and you prayers for sure. It said we need Deion bringing our young men along, getting them ready for the pros. Yep, he's doing a good job of it too. He's doing a good job. I just pray, health is wealth, right? So I just pray that whatever challenging, whatever he's dealing with is tough because he is hoarse, and that's kind of like an immune response, stress, right? So with his doctors being there on Monday, his medical team, his personal medical team, but then CU's medical team will be there. I think that'll be reassuring for a lot of people when they say what it is. And I do feel like he might have to be gone for a minute, like for treatment, just like at Jackson State. It's possible. It's possible. I'm not gonna speculate. I'm not gonna speculate. I'm gonna just pray for him. Health is wealth, and we want him to get back to being the Coach Prime, that we know. Full of life, full of energy. His birthday's coming up too. He's Leo season for Coach Prime too. Much love to Coach Prime, the Prime Effect. Facts. It's coming. Ownership is the new goal. Yep, I think ownership of a new team. That's what I was hoping his commercial was about. But I'm thinking it might be the tennis thing. I'm thinking that might be a tennis commercial because, he got the tennis rackets with Wilson. So it said, does Cincinnati have a new stadium? I have no idea. Somebody could look it up if they want. I don't know. It looked like they're going to play basketball there. They're going to play soccer there. Again, I didn't look up the sports group to see what they own. And the Cleveland Cavaliers might be playing there too, I guess. I don't know. It said that talking about a playbook is BS because that's what they said about all black QBs. Right. And I knew where they were going with it. That's why I didn't address it. Let me tell y'all something. When I said in 1968, what happened to Marlon Briscoe, he was good. He was the best rookie quarterback for Denver, balled out for them. And they told that man point blank, period. Yeah, that's good. But we don't want you to be our quarterback. How is that different from an NFL insider telling Mel Kiper Jr. on Phil Yates' podcast, the NFL does not want quarterbacks, plural, like Shedeur Sanders now. They're not talking about skill set. That's what Mel Kiper thought. They passed on Milroe too. He's third damn near on the depth chart in Seattle. Well, they eventually going to get him there. And they putting the person who was third in front of him. They are burying these black quarterbacks. And did y'all know that Jacoby Brissett is up there with Kyler Murray? I told y'all they were stacking these black quarterbacks on the same team. I've mentioned a lot of the teams. Green Bay. Last year was Pittsburgh. They went from 2 black quarterbacks to 2 white quarterbacks. So Green Bay, the Jets, Cleveland. That's why people knew Shedeur was going to Cleveland, because Deshaun was there and people could see they were stacking black quarterbacks. It's funny. Pittsburgh had 2 black quarterbacks, but since it wasn't their decision on who it was and who was QB1 and who was QB2, they got upset and snatched Mike Tomlin's power away. And now he got 2 white quarterbacks. But what they didn't anticipate is Russ will be the starter in New York. So we're going to have to keep our eye on the situation. Russ and Jameis Winston are both in New York. The play was supposed to be Dart come in, ball out. They make him the starter. Russell go to QB2 like he was in Pittsburgh, like he was expected to be when they booted him out of Denver. But it didn't work out like that because Mike Tomlin wanted to win. In some ways, the Giants are scoffing at Cleveland, making fun, saying, yeah, we don't have that situation going on here. We're not doing no quarterback competition. Russell Wilson is our starter. First of all, I'll believe it when I see it for a majority of the games. Cleveland gonna get out of a way of not naming Shedeur the starter. Even if the fans protest by running to the storm in the field until they do it, they're not gonna let him play the majority of the games. Cleveland clearly has some kind of problem where black quarterbacks are concerned. Just go back to Deshaun Kaiser. Then I want you to go to 2023. And then I want you to look at how they're treating Shedeur. Stefanski was there. Now, he wasn't there for Deshaun Kaiser, but he was definitely there for 2023. So these people have a problem. The same problem they had in 1968. They said that black quarterbacks, cognitive functioning, it's a thinking man's position, meaning they meant a white man because they don't think the black players are thinking people. They like the black players to play the position where you don't have to think. You just heard Shedeur say, I've been thinking all day out here. I've been out here thinking all day. So when they started going on in Shedeur about the playbook, that's what they meant. I told y'all, Mary Cabot, I told you her mindset. It was confirmed when she asked Shedeur, what? Are you homesick? What? He been in college for 4 years, lady, and not in Dallas. Are you homesick? Because a lot of players don't do well when they, like what player's homesick at 23? He said, said, well, we have FaceTime. I told you her mentality's dated. I told you. I said her mentality's dated. She not thinking 2025. I said Jim Crow, and I'm gonna stand by it. Oh, you may be homesick. He said, well, I got a home here, so I'm happy. I'm like, excellent, excellent, excellent response. These people's way of playing football in the NFL is outdated. When I hear David Carr, right? I told y'all Bernie Kosar was there today, and he interviewed with somebody's podcast, said wonderful things about Shedeur, talked about how his pass to Luke Floria touchdown was professional, was a professional throw. People say that about Shedeur all the time. Other former NFL quarterbacks, the legends, they say that about Shedeur all the time. Then David Carr came on, and now he talked about Shedeur and Dylan should want to sit for as long as possible because he was thrown into the fire when he got drafted. And he said, when you come in a situation and the veterans are there, they don't really want to help you and bring you along. That made me instantly go back to Flacco kind of not, cozying up to Shedeur when Shedeur was trying to be nice to him. Then he decided to come back and be nice because everybody talked about it on social media. Social media is powerful. Keep talking. Keep calling out the local media. Keep holding Cleveland accountable. It is working. Stefanski was over there today watching Shedeur because they isolated him, and it would have looked untoward and tawdry, and people would have said, y'all discriminating against him. They do not want to be called what? They're going to skirt that line as much as possible. Keep calling them out. Just like they thought Coach Prime was going to be there. So Dylan and Shedeur had the same number of reps. Coach Prime wouldn't be able to say nothing. But he didn't go. He might pop back up. I don't think he should announce it. I think he should, if he has time. I don't know. We're going to have to hear about this conversation on Monday, see what's going on. We're going to have to see what's going on first. But Shedeur, it was good he didn't go there. Shedeur was probably like, no, because Cleveland wasn't in the right place. They would have been nothing but posturing for Coach Prime to be there. And I would have had a fit at my own damn living room if I would have saw Andrew Berry skinning and grinning in Coach Prime face. I would have wanted to book a flight to Cleveland and just be there. Because that's all I can say. That's all I can say. People are fit to be tired. They are done with Barry. They don't like Stefanski. They call it Stefanski a liar. They said Stefanski said it was going to be an open competition. People are going at him on social media. That's why he over there with Shedeur. Because if you ignore him, then we know you lying, right? They were making it obvious, but they didn't think people were going to say nothing. But then when ESPN and all the others start talking about it, now they got to go and posture. So when people get excited, Stefanski's watching Shedeur. I said, or he's posturing because Shedeur is isolated. How would that look? You have to think like that. Look who you're dealing with. Shedeur know who he dealing with. He wearing his hair in braids. The guy asked him about being legendary. He said, we're not legendary yet. We're going to get there. Wearing his Deons, talking about the HBCU experience, saying I'm the same person I was at Colorado. That means he's a winner. That means he's a winner and likely has an O-line. Let's make sure he has an O-line. I believe we will see Shedeur a lot during the preseason. Y'all know the first game, 13 days versus who? The Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers. And y'all know who played for the Carolina Panthers. Now, the game, I do believe, is in Charlotte, where the Carolina Panthers play. So if y'all are going to be there, yeah. If y'all are going to be there, let me know. Let me know. 13 days. I think they're going to let Shedeur play in that game because they've already put out the disclaimer. Well, DTR played. I'm like, why are you comparing Shedeur to DTR? Do you not have any other quarterbacks that you could compare Shedeur to? Why are you comparing Shedeur to DTR? In other words, DTR balled out and he's a 5th round pick. He was balled out in he did. I went back and looked. He did well in mini camp. He did well in training camp. He balled out in preseason. They put him in to start against Baltimore, and they want to hold that against him. He's a 5th-round QB. Deshaun Watson was sitting right there. Deshaun Watson won 2 games back-to-back. Regular season game 1, regular season game 2. They were 2-0 with Deshaun Watson. On game 3, they put in a 5th-round QB and expected him to beat 2-time MVP Lamar Jackson. But that's the example. Well, DTR, he didn't do well in the regular season. God damn it, it was Lamar Jackson. Right now, Lamar Jackson, his team is expected to be number 1 again. The reigning MVP's team is expected to be number 4. Cleveland's, the power ranking, Cleveland is number 31. Cleveland is ranked number 31 in the power rankings for NFL, for the rosters for this year. In other words, they have the 31 ranked roster. Now, had they had Shedeur on that roster and not playing games like he's a 4th string, it would have been up higher. But nope, they say he a developmental QB. I asked, how the hell is the best QB on the damn team a developmental? He better than Flacco. There's no doubt that he's better than Pickett. And now people are going back to, yeah, I think they're going to trade him. They're going to do something. They're going to do something because they stuck on stupid. They are serious about not letting Shedeur get to QB1, even though it could help them. But they got so many toys to play with, they don't care about the Browns like that. It's okay. They could lose. I told y'all people like the owner. I'm like, nope. The owner's the one who shipped him up the river, if you just want to be honest. The question is, what did Barry know and when? Because you saw how disgusted he looked when he had the draft. Guilty. Because he reeled him in. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? 1922. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hanging out with us. Coach Swayze. Okay. All right. So we at the comment section. I asked y'all a question. I said, what star NFL player has a Colorado Buffaloes head coach? No, Colorado Buffaloes coach in their trusted inner circle who they reach out to when they want advice on their NFL career. So let's see what y'all are saying. Reality Check said it's Travis and Coach Prime. No, it's not Travis and Coach Prime. It's not. Shy says Swayze. I knew somebody was gonna say Swayze, and you're probably thinking a couple of people actually, but Kamara. Nah, it's not Swayze. Not Swayze. It said I've been saying that I'd rather see Shedeur go to the UFL as part of a league owner and grow it with The Rock and make real money. Hell, he might end up with some kind of equity in the damn NFL because they are stuck on stupid and they keep playing the same 17-32 game in public with social media and I don't know. To see they playing 1968 games in 2025. Exactly what they trying to do to Shedeur is what they exactly did to Marlon Briscoe. The difference is NFL does not want quarterbacks like Shedeur Sanders now. They know they cannot go up to Shedeur Sanders and ask him to switch to wide receiver or defensive back or running back. People know exactly that play. And they did it to Lamar Jackson, so they can't get away with it no more. In fact, a GM from Indianapolis said Lamar Jackson was too short to be a quarterback, which meant they was looking for anything because he's 6'3". I think he's 6'3". 6'1", 6'3". He over 6 feet tall. That's how much they were reaching in 2018 to hold back Lamar Jackson. And you see how they devalued him. They just took it another step further with Shedeur. But let me tell you what they did the year after. An Indianapolis GM said that Lamar Jackson was too short to be a quarterback. They drafted Kyler Murray first. How tall is he? See, that's how they make up to say, okay, I wasn't being. What is it they don't want to be called? So that's probably where Lenore Seller's going to come in at next year. I'm just being honest. That's why his daddy should took the money. And I want y'all to know there was a noose found at the construction site. Regina told us about it, right? A noose was found at the construction site of the new Tennessee Titans Stadium. Ever since then, Tennessee been real nice to Cam Ward. I even told y'all I read an article. Oh, yeah. They beefed up the O-line. They upgraded the O-line for their young QB. I'm like, well, that's different. Oh, that's right. There was a noose. Yeah, see, when people start doing stuff like that, and you know why there was a noose there, right? Look at how the coach was treating Cam. Putting him down. Putting private internal business in the street as if with coded language to say he difficult. Then you get some nut job. Oh, they don't like him because he black. Run over there with a noose, just like NASCAR. Same thing. NASCAR has at least, I know, 3 black drivers and a black woman on the pit crew, a former NFL player on the pit crew. So they have embraced. Angel Reese was on. That's NASCAR, right? Is that NASCAR? Michael Jordan 23 racing? Yes, NASCAR. So what they had the Chicago street races. Angel Reese was on the hood, sponsored by McDonald's. The car was driven by Bubba Wallace and owned by Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, Bubba Wallace, Angel Reese. That's iconic. That's iconic. Yep, that's iconic. And next year, I was like, oh, I want to go. They tell me, well, we're going to pause the Chicago street race in 2026 and we'll be back in 2027. I'm like, damn it. And I watched the video. It looks so much fun. I might try to share it here. So I'm trying to work in a NASCAR minute, but it's so much going on with Shedeur. That's the priority. So it's hard for me to work it in. But just know, if you pay attention to the post, you see me posting NASCAR, black NASCAR drivers, because we're going to have a NASCAR minute. I actually have a trivia question for that. All right, so let's keep going on our current trivia question. It said, Prime's magic reaches far beyond the field, and everyone knows it, right? And the NFL don't want him having no say-so, right? So that's why they're trying to keep him at arm's length. Coach Swayze. No. I know people think it's Coach Swayze. Starlin, what's the M for? Hey, Isaiah, how you doing? People think it's Coach Swayze, but it's not. So I'm getting ready to tell y'all. It said he was so nervous at the press conference. Who we talking about, Sarah? So, okay, the answer is, since they moved on to the next topic, the answer is Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley has in his inner circle Coach Marshall Faulk as his trusted advisor when it comes to advice for his career. I said, oh, we in good hands. The running back room is in good hands. When Saquon Barkley goes to Marshall Faulk, I shared that on X. I was like, oh my God, we are in really, really good hands. Yeah, everybody know Marshall Faulk was good in his career personally. But when the Saquon Barkley goes to our head coach, just like Alvin Kamara comes to Coach Swayze, now Saquon Barkley comes to Marshall Faulk. Our program is valued at $328 million, which rivals an MLS expansion team. We in the top 50. We up there with Duke. We up there with Syracuse, Iowa State, because they got money. 3 years in. Notoriety. All those people that passed on CU will want to be. I'm just saying. That's why these kids starting to double back. That's why they started, because they see, these kids didn't get it. In high school, they're not thinking about the intangibles. They're not thinking about the intangibles when they make these recruiting decisions. So I don't really hold it against them when they go away and they go to a homeschool like Boo Carter, right? We haven't heard anything else about that. Don't know where we are with that. Maybe that's not something we can focus on right now. Who knows? Maybe we'll find out Monday. Because why? We got this press conference coming up. Maybe we'll find out Tuesday because there are clearly more serious matters at hand. So that might work. It might not. But the point is, see, these kids think, oh yeah, I see Travis Hunter playing 2 ways. I'm the next Travis Hunter. And then they get these schools telling them, well, you're from here. Why don't you come here and we'll put you on the squad 2 ways. And then they learn when they teach them the corner side first and they slowly roll in the wide receiver side. The wide receiver side is the most complex part. That's where you're supposed to start. Then you come on with the cornerback side. And it's getting to August and you starting this in May. You lied to me. Yes. See, now people see Coach Prime develops players. He let Travis do something Florida State would have not done. Tennessee wasn't quick to do at all. That's why Boo Carter is back visiting CU. And they must gonna be there for a couple of days. Maybe they need to be there for a couple of days. So maybe people can see if they're a good culture fit. Because that's how we got to look at people. A lot of people are talented. Do you fit the culture? You got to have your grades together. You got to carry yourself a certain way. You see? So they see it now. Yes, you can play two ways, but will the school that you choose let you play two ways? And if they say they will, are they really going to do it? Or is that lip service? See, young people don't know about lip service. Some people do, some don't, depending on how fast you had to grow up. Now he sees it. Oh, these other schools not letting these players be two-way stars. No. See, you, they say, going to end up being two-way you. Boo Carter could be that for us, but it got to be a good fit. We can't just jump into it with our emotions. This got to work because we are trying to win. So if we take a piece of the puzzle that we wasn't expecting that came back to us, yeah, you young, but hey, we got something set up over here. And we focused on this Georgia Tech game. We know we win this game, it sets the momentum for the season. So we can't have no instability because we already got stability, right? That's what I mean by the intangibles. Now they starting to see it. These other schools not going to let you play both ways. They want you to think they're going to let you play both ways. Then they're going to forget that you have options to get the hell up and leave. They're going to think, well, he enrolled to school, his family here, so don't worry about it. We'll get him next year. These kids talk to each other. Any kid thinking of going to Tennessee going to start reaching out to another kid who left Tennessee because it's a lot of people who starting to have issues publicly with Tennessee. These schools better get it together. Just because you think somebody's dumb does not mean they are dumb. And that's the problem. Just because you underestimate me don't mean you should have. So that was the answer. Saquon Barkley, Marshall Faulk, CU's running back room is in excellent hands. Boy, it would be nice to see Saquon Barkley come up to one of the games or something. Like we saw Alvin Kamara. You say he was so nervous at that press conference. Who you talking about, Sarah? 22 said another thing the coach and GM is jealous because Shedeur is making money with Nike, KFC, and Gatorade and Delta Airlines and and Delta Airlines and Ralph Lauren to make up for his rookie contract. And Barry is facts. Barry will be fired as the head coach. They're gonna fire Barry first. They might get a duo. Barry, but I think they want to fire. I think they're looking for a reason to fire Andrew Barry. But he also serves a purpose. See, Andrew Barry cheating, getting people for pennies on the dollar, treating Shedeur the way he did. If Andrew Barry were white facing white, you would see instantly what's going on. But they're hiding behind his melanin. That's why he got to go. Because if that's how you're going to let people use your melanin, you got to move on, partner. So I think he's going to be the first one to go. Because he did the most talking, to be honest, and said inappropriate things. It's like he got a grudge with Shedeur, but I think it's because he's guilty. Cleveland better not be stupid. They need Shedeur to fill that new stadium. They don't care. They say their fans going to show up anyway. And I think they might be right. Did y'all see the lady in KFC drive-thru talking to Shedeur? He liked her truck. She liked his jewelry. And she said it, season tickets. I'm like, oh, yeah, they're going to be right there because maybe it's not much to do. That's what the Star of Cleveland is about. It's supposed to be a new entertainment shopping, what they call it, complex for Northeast or North Ohio. So this is serving the whole state. That's how they justify the price tag, even though there's 2 teams in Cleveland. Several leagues, by the way. That was just a front for the people to see. Andrew was definitely a fraud. Yep, Sarah, I think so too. Is that who you were talking about that was nervous at the press conference? Hit that like button for the truth teller. Yes, thank you. Pads on Monday, but it's different in NFL. The makeup of them is different. Okay, do they weigh more or something? Or thank you for that, reverb, Nelson. That's what I'm gonna call you. Okay, pads on Monday, but it's different in the NFL. The makeup is different. Okay. You are the something she said. You are something she said. You are to something she said. Thank you, Sarah. I thank you. Thank you. Salute Queen. Neck bone takes. Okay, welcome. Thank y'all for hanging out with us, Sarah. Y'all be nice in the comments. We got a lot of people hanging out with us. Let's be welcoming. Mary Kay also said that Shedeur should be drafted at number 2 before the draft. So that was her. So when they said a reporter was talking about, that's who they talking about. Okay, okay. And then they say she just flipped the script. That means she knew what was going to happen. You put with what she said. Mary Cabot, with what she talked about Shedeur being drafted number 2, with what Adam Schefter said they're taking their franchise QB at number 2. You put that with Andrew Berry pre-drafting extensively with Shedeur Sanders. And Kevin Stefanski said, we pre-draft extensively with Shedeur Sanders. I know starting for sure, 3 teams met with him at the Shrine Bowl and asked him not to work out. Cleveland was amongst that, and the Tennessee Titans and the New York Giants were the other 2. So were they playing him the whole way through? Questions that need answers. So God got Shedeur there so the truth could come out. So we let Shedeur ball out. We do the work. We want him to focus. He's focused. He's good. This is not his concern. This is where the fans come in at. And for the guys out there, you are still your brother's keeper. So y'all got to show up and hold it down for Shedeur and hold Cleveland accountable too. They plan on having Arch Manning to fill the seats for the new stadium. Okay. It must gonna be, well, the stadium not open in 2029. So it must gonna be through a trade, because I'm pretty sure BJ, maybe, who knows? Maybe. I don't see it happening in 2027 in that stadium. I see maybe in 2029 they made some kind of deal. But again, the connection with the New York Giants, I'm telling you, the reason the Manning family is the reason Jackson Dart, who they may not even be related to, but they could be. It just strengthens my case if he is. That's why he's in New York. That's why he moved from number 6 to number 2, because of them. Yeah. That connection. That's why Jackson Dart was seen palling around in New York with Eli Manning. That connection. So I just don't see it being Cleveland. But again, Cleveland and New York have a lot in common. Maybe the owners are best friends. They all are friends. I know they all are incestuously close. Yeah, we know. But maybe they got some kind of something else. Maybe they kids married to each other, because they got something. They got something going on that's a little extra. I'm going to just go ahead on and say it. Might start with an R, but it could be something else. You can't hit the QB. Yeah, no, you're not supposed to hit the QB. Oh, you talking about when I said if they gonna let the defense rush Dylan Gabriel. Okay, so you're not gonna be able to hit the QB either. Okay. That's why I don't understand what happened to Justin Fields, how somebody stepped on his foot and dislocated his toe. This is practice. This is practice in t-shirts and shorts. So I'm like, how did that happen? But they say he'll be back. He's day-to-day. He might be back. I think they say he was out there today. So I'm sure they gave him something for the pain and wrapped up his toe, because a dislocated toe is not the end of the world. Hey, Kiel, happy Saturday. I'm still waiting on you to email me, Kiel. What she said 404@gmail.com. Just saying, there will be no difference with pads. Everybody will have them on. Okay. It'll be hot. I feel like it'll be hot. That's why Shiloh was doing his thing, right? Shiloh was what? Getting to work out. He dressed out. He said it was 95 degrees in pads, because you got to get used to it. So I'm going to go with that. But again, that's looking for something. Like, oh my God, he's not going to be good when we put on pads, because they don't want him to be good. He is as advertised. I was so happy when Shedeur said, yeah, just like I was at CU. He's the same QB. That's what he's saying. Whether you know it or not, that's what he's saying. I'm not any different than I was at QB, at CU. You know who I was at CU. I'm the same QB that won the Johnny Unitas Award. I'm the same QB that was the most accurate quarterback in in college. I'm the same person. I'm not going to be no different. If y'all don't want me, y'all don't want me. He didn't say that part, but he's happy to be there. He gets to do something that as a kid he grew up watching, and he loves his father. They admire their father. And he probably have more respect for his father now. He even said he knew his father went through some things. This gives him a newfound perspective on how it really is, because he's the quarterback. Notice you don't hear any media, local media in Tampa, trashing Shiloh. His last name is Sanders. Yeah, there are people working to try to get him out of there, right? What did the coach say? He's learning the playbook really fast, making himself indispensable. Hey, Cheryl, how you doing? Thank you for the comment. It said Barry has an identical twin brother. I think he's a coach. Oh, Lord, it's two. You know who he gives me the vibes of? Andrew Barry gives me the vibes of, what was the head coach at Colorado State? Norvell. Remember him? I heard their situation might be the same, too. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's the problem. I'm like, that's what it is. Identity crisis. I think that might be what it is. See, what did I say about RG3 and Angel Reese? I said RG3 is jealous because Angel Reese loves herself and he can't find it in even his pinky to love himself. She has the courage to live out loud as a Black person, especially a Black woman, because what Malcolm X said, and he can't do it. He can't do it. It infuriates him. Now we got Shedeur living out loud, wearing his hair in locks. I love that. Keep doing that. I like the other twists he had at CU. I want to see them too. Jaden Daniels wear his hair in twists. Guess what? They said he's treated like a king in Washington. So it depends on the organization that you go to. But in Shedeur's case, what was at stake for 2025, the NFL does not want quarterbacks like Shedeur Sanders now, quarterbacks plural, was because they don't want the majority of the starting quarterbacks to be Black. Prove me wrong. Marlon Briscoe. It is not 1968, but they are trying to do the same thing. Eliminate Black quarterbacks from contention by saying that up here can't get it done. But then they did the same thing to Lamar Jackson in 2018. They made fun of his aptitude test. Then they did it to CJ Stroud. They made fun of his mental aptitude test. So when it comes to Black quarterbacks, that's why you don't hear nobody talking about Shiloh. That's why everybody else that came from CU is having a good time, because they're not Black quarterbacks. That's why Russell Wilson said they can't break me, because he knows they are trying. And now Shedeur does too. And they're not going to let it happen. I pray they have some kind of group chat. They can't tell nobody, but I hope that that's what it is. So he has a twin brother, huh? It said, oh, new hair, outstanding. Yes, Kia, thank you. It's birthday week. It's my birthday week. It's my birthday week. My birthday is a week from today. It said the pads suggest that they will be hitting and tackling. Okay, so they're gonna be able. Well, Sarah said they can't hit the quarterback. So will they be able to hit the quarterback with the pads? Let me know. If not, then I don't know what all that was about. But thank you for that insight. That was helpful. Hey, Janet, how you doing? It said they're wearing pads because they're getting ready to tackle the players so they can get used to being hit and get their body in shape. When you say get used to being hit, you mean at this level, because the players are older, bodies are more advanced in terms of muscularity. Okay, I got it. Okay, so that's what they mean. Okay, well, nobody better lay Shedeur out. Are they going to be able to hit the quarterback? Can somebody confirm? Sarah said she don't think they're going to be able to hit the quarterback. Let me know. I don't want to hear no dislocated toes or any freak accidents about Shedeur Sanders, because I'm not going to believe it. D said, I love how Shedeur represents us. Yes. And his family. Yes. Tony Grossi tried to get at him again today and married Cabby before. Oh, okay. I didn't hear anybody ask him any questions today. They've got national media attention now. They can't keep hiding. That's what I'm saying. See, that's what I mean. Like, this is not 1968. There was no social media in 1968. Whatever the media reported is what the NFL told them. So when they told Marlon Briscoe, we don't want you to be our quarterback, I can't imagine they sat down and told the media the same thing. We don't want him to be our quarterback because he's black. And we don't believe that black quarterbacks are intellectually capable of holding a thinking man's position, which they think is a white man. That's what they try to do to Shedeur. See, they don't want to get caught with that. See, this is 2025. These people's mentalities, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's why they're trying to set it up. Y'all don't think it's weird? Okay, so I told y'all Derek Carr said when he came in, they threw him into the fire. He said Shedeur and or Dylan should sit for as long as possible. Sit behind other people, learn this, that, and the other. And every time somebody says that, I'm like, didn't Jada Daniels just almost go to the Super Bowl? Didn't Lamar Jackson start? CJ Stroud? Right? So when people say that, I'm like, that's not the case. Nobody said anything when Bo Nix started, and he struggled, but they gave him grace and opportunity and time to get it. And he went hang out with Drew Brees in the offseason. People are celebrating that. So why does Shedeur have to sit? I don't say he's a 5th round draft pick, because that's going to open up a can of worms that y'all don't want to answer. And Adam Schefter keeps saying it. I'm like, okay, Adam Schefter, somebody going to call you out. Somebody going to call you out because you know. But see, that's why they got rid of the facility. That is exactly why they got rid of the facility, because they said it. I still have not seen that interview with Shady McCoy wearing Shedeur number 12 jersey since they axed that show off the air. They got rid of all of that. They lied to us about Shedeur. Yes, they did. And with them gone, nobody else has the courage to say that Shedeur is not a 5th round draft pick, that he is a 1st round draft pick pushed down to the 5th round. Shady McCoy said it. He said he's a 1st round draft pick, but I get it. The NFL wanted to teach him a lesson. I'm like, oh, that don't work well for lawsuits. That's why the facility's gone. They were being honest. It's that the best sports show. She pretty and she know football. Thank you, Isaiah. Thank you. I appreciate it. Neck Bones is laughing. How you doing, Neck Bones? Thank you for hanging out with us. Barry got a Tupac, all eyes on you. We ain't gonna stop calling out the. No, we are not. 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 Somebody was like, "You going to Cleveland?" I'm like, nope. I'm like, all I want to hear in Cleveland is Shedeur. Shedeur. I come up with a chant that they could say, and the stadium could all say it, and we could all know what they're saying. I'm like, that's all I care about. I don't care about nothing else. I'm like, because they're going to go to the games. I have figured that out. I said, oh, Lord, they're going to go to the games, win or lose, snow, sleet, hail. It don't matter. Thank you so much. Thank you for the compliment, Isaiah. I appreciate it. And what, nearly 30 years? Yeah, they haven't won anything in 30 years. I like your setup. Thank you, Next Bounce. Hopefully you hang out with us again. Derek Freeman, how you doing? It said, hit that like for her. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Sarah said, Dylan has been getting the most reps the whole time. So sad, and he can't even see over the receiver. Here's the thing. Okay, so one, they're saving face. They got to make it work with Dylan, because Shedeur cannot surpass Dylan, even though he already has. That's why they're not ranked by best to worst. That's why they're listed by jersey number. It's a psychological thing. It's a visual tale. When you look at it, you think, oh, Flacco's the best because his jersey number is the lowest. Shedeur's the best. I did the math on every day that they had a tracker for. Shedeur won training camp week 1. He gonna win training camp week 2. Then it's gonna be time for the preseason game. They're gonna have to play him. Because if they don't play him now and they don't want to play him in the season, they're going to have to play him in the preseason. He going to ball out just like he did. Now, I think if they try to do him like they did DTR, they're going to throw him in against a game that they think he can't win. Baltimore, let's just see. So they know you have to play the majority of the games to be named the starter. They are not afraid of probably letting him play one game. But if he balls out, like Derek Carr said, if both of them, Dylan and Shedeur, ball out during preseason, everybody's going to want to see them play. He thinks that's a mistake. I'm like, well, okay, Derek Carr, I thought what you added was good. But it's too many people out here coming out of college that are balling, right? Bo Nix did it. Hell, they want to hand the keys to J.J. McCarthy in Minnesota, and this is his second year, and he has 0 film. And he ranked the number 9th quarterback coming into this year. I'm like, y'all sure got high hopes for people that you have never seen, that have not earned anything. But Cam got to compete. Shedeur got to earn it. Dylan didn't have to earn those first team reps. They said this week was a first for Dylan and Shedeur. It said Dylan got first team reps and Shedeur got second team reps. I'm like, I don't even know how you could fix your mouth or your fingers to say that. Shedeur was better than Dylan in high school, also, in college. Also said on the facility. That's why they're gone. Somebody said it. Y'all a PR show for Shedeur. They don't want that. They'll never admit it. That is why the facility is gone. That was a good show. They had good numbers. They were honest. People said it. We like this show. Y'all are honest. You can't be honest. You can't be honest if you connected. You can't be honest. And that's why nobody else is. JJ Redick was trying his best to say he didn't want to talk about what's going on in Cleveland because it's just a bunch of nothing. I mean, really, it's just a bunch of nothing. In other words, it's not a real competition. He can't say that, though. So watching regular media, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Podcasters can be honest. Daniel Oyufose, the guy that I like that's seemingly replaced Mary Cabot after the games with the microphone, he works for ESPN. I didn't know that. He said something. He had to go back and fix what he said. And when I saw it, I said, oh, they must have got on him. So what he does is, I told people on X to follow him. He just reports what happened. He don't have a thought about it. Shedeur had this many reps. Dylan had this many. In other words, he can't just put, he was throwing to the equipment manager. Even if it was funny, he couldn't do it. He has to just give you the details. That's why I follow him, because that's how I'm gonna know what was without any spin. So he's truly reporting, just reporting what happened. So y'all gonna keep seeing him, I think. Jerry Jeudy stayed with Shedeur to help the corner with his technique. Stefanski wanted Shedeur and Gabriel to stay on the field. Yeah, I heard that. So today, for 30 minutes after practice, Cleveland has something they called opportunity. This is where players, rookies have an opportunity to stay and work out. So yesterday, some people noticed that Myles Garrett and Shedeur was still on the field, and they thought Myles Garrett was helping Shedeur. No, Shedeur and Myles Garrett were helping a fourth string center with his snapping, because there was some messed up snaps, just like SCU, with the fourth string center. So Myles Garrett was the defense, Shedeur was the QB, and then the fourth string center was getting tutelage, just extra support. And people are starting to refer to Shedeur as the rookie leader and Myles Garrett as the veteran leader, and they are the franchise leaders. I see it that way. And there's a video of Myles Garrett and Shedeur laughing and talking on the field. The local news reported that. The Channel 5 up there, they reported that. They own it. So if you see Cleveland media, Channel 5 seems to be willing to show everything, right? And not edit out the joy that Shedeur and other players have on the field. It said getting 60 more likes. Oh, yes, please hit me some more likes. It's 145 of us. So it says Clyde Marshall. Hello, how you doing? The Tepsi? Well, I don't know what that is. You're gonna have to explain. Barry and Stefanski are going to get fired. It's a sad situation. I'ma celebrate. They're both some liars and frauds. But people are expecting it because people are talking. Shedeur is the reason that Luke Floria got signed. I heard that early on a guy got signed and it was him. And now you see they said Shedeur connects with Luke Floria and Harold Fanning Jr. I heard an interesting story. Remember the guy in Joku that was at the baseball game and Shedeur went to? He was the one that was on the field with Shedeur. And I said nobody else had the courage to go out there and talk to Shedeur. In Joku, they said might be replaced by Harold Fanning Jr. So there's a debate about that. If the new guy that Shedeur is connected with is going to replace the guy that was connected with Shedeur. I told y'all I want to see what happened to everybody that was friendly to Shedeur. I believe that these people are retaliatory. So I think we just going to have to kind of wait and see what happens. But that's what people are saying. Oh, the new guy is going to take his place. I'm like, why you can play more than one tight end, right? No, he's an edge rusher, right? In Joku, an edge rusher. You can play more than one edge rusher, so I don't know why he got to replace anybody. But I told you, I'm keeping an eye on anybody who this Harrison, I think that was one of the guys that was friendly to Shedeur early on when they were doing like the cooking event. Well, Quinshawn, I don't know if he's going to be back anytime soon, but he seemed to be pretty cool. I'm keeping an eye on everybody. Everybody that was nice to Shedeur. I want to see if they make the 53-man roster, because if Njoku was a vet and they trying to move him on for the rookie, why you not trying to move on Flacco and Pickett for Shedeur? See, everybody else can start. Carson Schwarzenegger can start. Harold Fanning Jr. can start. He could replace a vet. But if you say Shedeur going to replace anybody, Flacco, Gabriel, or Pickett, it's just people just flipping out. When there are quarterbacks that start and are successful, black and white. So while I appreciated David Carr's perspective, I think it's outdated. That's just what I'm gonna say. It said Cleveland Browns don't deserve Shedeur because the GM and head coach are sabotaging his career. They ain't gonna be able to do that, but they trying. I'll give you that. I wish he could get away from Cleveland because they are not going to do right by Shedeur no matter what. I agree. I feel like they're gonna antagonize him. Okay, so people are watching, so we got to give you these reps. Then they're going to be out there critiquing the way he breathing. Don't do this. Don't watch what I tell you. You're not going to see that part. Somebody going to have to talk about it, or camera going to have to catch the audio of it or something. It's going to have to get unexpectedly caught on camera. That's what they're going to do next. They're going to start nitpicking because we're watching, and that irritates them. Somebody even posted on X, I'll be glad when Shedeur go to another team so his fans can go with them. I'm like, and y'all can go back to being irrelevant. And it ain't like we want him there. I'm like, it's not like we want him there. Believe me. We don't want him there. So, I think that they don't appreciate accountability. They don't, but they going to get this accountability. Because what they did in the draft, that was the end. So you want to be stuck on stupid, you gonna get this accountability. And I'm happy that the media and the fans are in on it. And that's why you see the posturing, and that's what it's gonna be. But behind closed doors, they're gonna be trying to figure out a way to nitpick at every little thing he does. They already probably trying to figure out right now, before they put on pads on Monday, how long are we gonna be able to keep him back from the ones? I don't even think we care no more. If he ball out with the 4s, if he ball out with the 3s, if he ball out with the 2s, and Deontay Johnson is a starting wide receiver, I'm good. Your wide receiver core ain't all that. You didn't even get no receivers in the draft. So it's not like you went out here and got Jimmy Horn Jr. That's who you should have got. That's who you should have got. But it's not like that's what you have, right? And speaking of Jimmy Horn Jr., I'm telling y'all, Carolina Panthers cannot get enough of this man. Every day. Every day. You would think he was a first-round draft pick. They call him Air Horn. They said in this photo he was gliding because his feet, he got on Deion's too, I think they said. That might be the Deion's or the Air Jordan version of the Deion's or something like that, one of Coach Prime's shoes. They love this kid so much, right? I can't wait for Shedeur to get that kind of love from his team. I can't wait for somebody to say, oh, they treat him like a king like they do Jaden Daniels. I can't wait for the media to stop with the BS. Oh, he should sit. And compare him to who he's comparable to. Pat Mahomes and Jaden Daniels. You can throw Joe Burrows in there if you want to. But the point is, it's like Cleveland don't want him to hold on to the ball and try to extend plays. I'm like, but you want Pat Mahomes to extend plays. See, they don't even want to admit Shedeur is him. Shedeur is everything that a winning coach wants for a quarterback that can help to build a dynasty. But can't nobody else get him until somebody shakes some shit up. So we just gonna keep on holding people accountable till they start shaking. Shedeur is the reason that Florida got the sign. Yep. And though everybody's noticing those two and Harold Fannin Jr., the connection is there. Hit the likes. It won't cost you nothing. Yep, it won't cost you a thing. And see, there are 141 of us in here. We're about to hit on 2 hours. We're gonna get ready to get out of here. I think I shared everything that I wanted to share. Like I said, I'm keeping an eye on the guys that hung out with Shedeur. When I heard them talking about Njoku, I didn't care for that very much. I'm like, how y'all going in on him? Like he's a starter. You don't want the rookies, the quarterback, the rookie quarterback can't replace a vet, but Harold Fannin Jr. can replace Njoku. See, it's all about that quarterback position. Like they get in a tizzy when it comes to that quarterback position. That's why Shedeur going through all of this. So one day we'll get to the point where Shedeur is getting the same love that the rest of the players are getting. Did y'all hear him say that he don't really talk to a lot of people, but he been talking to the other CU players? I like that. He's a good kid. He's a good young man. He is. He's a good young man. Well, we're gonna get ready to get out of here, everybody. This was excellent. Shedeur is gonna be okay because he know who he's dealing with. See, that's the hard part. Getting from the part where you're being traumatized by another person, you're being bullied by somebody else, then your brain is trying to figure out, am I supposed to associate with this person? Am I supposed to run? Because you don't know. You like, but I feel stuck because I signed my contract, but I was supposed to because God opened the door. I'm going to be okay. And he's okay. And we're okay because he's okay. And while he's focusing, we're holding Cleveland accountable. Every time you hear somebody say, oh, he should sit for a year or two and learn from Flacco, I'm like, first off, okay, rookies can start and win. Let that tired mentality go. They only want to do that because they don't want to see these young black rookie quarterbacks balling out like Jaden Daniels did. That's why CJ Stroud's second season went like it did, and the minutes from that team went to Washington. So we will be watching Jaden Daniels to see how that go. That's why Bryce Young was sacked 68 times. That's why Caleb Williams was sacked just as many. They even said today, no excuses for Caleb Williams. He has an entire new O-line. Then he's not the one that made the excuses. His O-line was problematic. So hopefully we passed the stage of them getting away with sacking this young black talent as QBs. Which is why I said, Shedeur don't need to start because I need to see how that O-line going to function. And I'm serious about that. They already starting to have a little snafuffles. They were like his red zone day wasn't that good because somebody wasn't doing what they were supposed to do. I don't know why it's hard for people to understand that some of these players going to do. They're going to follow the agenda. They're going to be used that way. Look at how people look at what happened to Lamar Jackson in this last game against Buffalo. That drop pass. When that player was messing up the entire time. All those people they brought in for Lamar to throw to. And when it was crucial and critical, they didn't use not one of them. So we're going to get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow, Sunday night, probably about the same time, 10:35, because it works. And we'll just update you on whatever we know new at the time. Maybe we'll look in on LaJohntay and Travis, but we definitely got to get back to CU and start looking in on CU because the guys were somewhere. Caden Salter and Gibson were out like somewhere at a park or something, working out together. A bunch of the CU players seem like they got together on their own. And I love seeing Caden to Q because I think Q should get some playing time. I don't think just because he's a freshman, he should sit back for a year. I know we got a lot of players and we might get Boo Carter too. We just gonna have to rotate. That's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to rotate because we could probably use every last one of them, but we're gonna have to at least rotate 4 or 5 of them throughout the season to get to the next level. All right, everybody, we out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate all the compliments on my braids. We'll be back tomorrow night at 10:35. Thanks for watching What She Said Sports. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Be sure to join our daily live stream and listen up to What She Said Sports on the go on Spotify. Thank you for watching What She Said Sports. Stay for another video.